Hello and welcome to the Metal Cell podcast. The cops are after arriving outside to arrest Grey Stag,
who
are just ahead of them. So I have the two Matts and Steve here from Grey Stag. How are you, lads?
Hey, yeah. Not so bad. How are you?
How's the stress levels?
It was a bit heavy today. Our merch, after 2 days of on post trying to deliver to the wrong house, just came today at 11 o'clock before I left the house at 1 o'clock. So
right.
I'm fine now.
Okay.
We have it now anyway.
Yeah, we have them now, so come buy t-shirts.
Yes.
Actually, they should be up on Bandcamp by the time this is up.
Okay.
These are ones from...
are the baseball ones? Or?
No, they're delayed, I'm afraid. Okay. So these are just the t-shirt ones from Mr. Serpent Tusk.
Okay, yeah, Kev.
Yeah,
nice one. Who's driving today?
Steve.
Me. I'm trying to convince
Christ.
Matt to drive back.
Yeah, I might be doing the return shift.
And who fucked up on the toll bridges?
Oh, that was Steve.
I had it set because I'm cheap. That it said it was going to take an hour and 40 minutes from, I don't know, wherever we stopped to let Matt have a piss. It's like, we won't make it in time for this fucking podcast.
I think that was at the Cashel exit.
Yeah. And then I'd obviously had it set to avoid tolls from before. So we just went straight through, and then it dropped down to like 40 minutes. And it's like, oh, grand, we'll make it.
Jesus, right. So, you're in your second home, lads.
Oh, yeah. Back.
It's fucking great to have you back, actually. I'm just trying to think, when was the last time you were down? It was a few months back?
It'd definitely be a few months anyway.
We were actually here. It was Stone Sea single
Stone
launch.
Sea was the last one, here in France.
With Steiner as well here playing tonight with
nice.
us.
Lovely guys. Shout out to Steiner.
Jeez, that was before we recorded the EP, was it?
That was like June or July.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was a few months back. But like, there was a show then you were supposed to play as well, and it was cancelled, wasn't it?
That's true, yeah.
That was November. Was it October?
I think it was end of October. That was the one supporting Slowmatics.
Yes.
Right, I think that's been postponed till the new year. So hopefully we'll be back down. It won't be as big a break next time because we missed the place.
Yeah, fucking we miss you too, man. What about you, Gat?
Yeah. I just barely had time to dress myself this morning before I had to hop in the car. Like, gotta love night shifts now.
Yeah, don't talk to me, man. I'm going in there now.
He had a little snooze on the way down in the car.
I didn't.
As is his custom.
No, this is the one time I didn't.
Actually, who was doing DJ on the way down?
That was me, actually, wasn't it?
That was you.
Not bad as usual.
Well, you gotta. I have my staples. I was trying to keep the lads in mind, because if it was up to me, it'd just be seal and right side bread the whole way down. But I just got one each of my two favourites, and
What was the chosen team on the way down? Like, was it metal?
Mostly. Good bit of metal.
90% metal, I'd say.
Yeah, good bit of Irish metal. I find myself listening more and more to Irish metal rather than, I suppose, bigger bands nowadays.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
First track we played was Peasant to a King. Nice. Their new single, and I think we followed that with Horrenda.
Horrenda.
Fuck it, some serious black metal there.
That's God Alone in there as well, of course.
The Horrenda boys, and their interview that you did with them, very interesting.
Yeah, they're lovely lads, actually. Yeah, I never met them before, like, and I didn't. Black metal wouldn't be my thing, but Jesus Christ, the new stuff they had, I was well impressed, It's strange, like, because I was at The Cure the previous night in Malahide Castle, so I was really fucking hungover, and then I got these random instructions to go to Blanchardstown Shopping Centre to meet these lads that you've never seen before. It's just weird, like, here I am with the silver suitcase standing around, and sure enough they came down anyway, and off we put. Dara had a kind of little porta cabin, and geez, he was well organised, so
deadly class.
Yeah, so that was fucking sweet. Then the trip back to Cork then afterwards, podcast in the bag.
No cases of mistaken identity this time then, no?
What?
No cases of mistaken identity this time, no?
Jesus, no. That's happened a few times, actually. So let's talk about the new EP. Fucking congratulations from my side of things anyway. I kind of got a sneak preview, thanks Steve. Absolutely brilliant, delighted.
That's it. As of today, I think everyone can listen to it on all of the platforms that are around. Mm-hmm. It was a long process of prep for that.
Right.
It felt like it was very quick, but I think there's a recording of us starting to trial out the boats, and it's from this time last year, so that's how long we've been working on the material. Pretty much left the studio after the Guide EP and started working on the stuff for this, and all the planning, pre-production and stuff, that was the whole summer was spent doing that, like weekends and thinking about it, and we were texting back and forth and everything, like every little thing we could think of about improving the EP and the plan for the studio.
Right.
25-minute EP, so like
that's right.
Getting it done in a weekend in the studio is a bit of a.
You nailed the drums fairly lively, didn't
you know,
just about.
So like I remember
you
were giving us updates the whole day long, which was
bit
really
of trouble with that
cool,
at first.
You know,
It was just
really
there's some just kind of sections in it that are just kind of.
It's that main riff. Really. It's that main riff, that weird kind of.
Well, it has the groove, and it is. There's a bit of a. The timing's a bit pushed and pulled on it, so I suppose like the 90% of the preparation in the music is the pre-production stage, getting the arrangement nailed, so that when we hit the studio, he can get it in one go.
Yeah.
Because we know where everything is being played, you know.
Okay.
We know what's supposed to be happening at what time, and the relationship between the three instruments going on.
Yeah.
So but like fair play to him. We were expecting it to take a bit longer on the drums front, definitely, but pretty much got them done in half a day, didn't we?
Especially when you're doing like, because the drums.
In half a day, but
does them all in. Yeah, drums all done in half. Especially when you're doing like an 8-minute song and 12-minute song.
Yeah,
it's one take. You can't you can do a bit of changing, but we don't do it to a click or anything. So you can't go in and change a lot. You can maybe change a beat here and there, but without too much, it really, you have to be perfect on it.
Yeah. It's interesting to say that you don't do it to a click. Any reasons why?
A couple. One is this guy won't practice till 3. But what we say the official reason is to try and maintain that sort of live feel.
Organic.
That's it. Keep the organic nature. Like when we practice in the studio, in the rehearsal studio, we don't practice to a click.
Yeah.
Suddenly doing it in the recording studio is going to give the music a completely different sort of.
Yeah. And Mick was happy to not do it to a click as well. Mick Richards from Track Mix.
Yeah, and, shout out to Mick.
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. Like
Trojan job and actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was so much brilliant. But like it allows it to have that push and pull, and you can, especially with the odd time signatures here and there. We don't do it all the time. It just allows it to be more free and kind of easy. You can speed up easier, slow down easier without having to
So I'd say kind of at a guess, because I know you were playing the boats long before the rest of the tracks. Was that probably the easiest one to get down?
Hard to know, actually.
It's still a 13-minute track on the record, so like that comes with its own issues. But we did know that one more inside.
Definitely.
Than
definitely. I think the hardest one was, well, for me, definitely Five Eyes.
Five Eyes, yeah. There's a lot of changes.
Well, the drums, which we got that the day before was when we fully 100% completed the drums.
There was one section where I was kept trying to just think of different parts for it and all that, and just nothing was working at all. And I was going, and I was kind of maybe overthinking it and maybe trying to put more in than it was should have. So when the pressure in the studio, then it was like, okay, I just simplify it, you know. And then once I went in and did that, it just made a lot more sense, and it was just a lot easier. I knew where everything was, and it was just that one particular part that just like months of practice, and it still wasn't coming out, and I was like.
Yeah, so sometimes just a simple approach will work.
Yeah, I need the pressure as well of something like I need to get this right.
Yeah, it's kind of like I don't have the editing now, obviously with the lack of click and stuff, so it's kind of like right.
And that one was a killer for me as well, because we quad tracked all of these tracks. So I played 4 times, and the guitar, like in the boats, like it goes from quiet to heavy, quiet to heavy. So we do that bit by bit, and you get breaks. Where this was like 8 minutes quad tracks back to front all the way through. Arms were hanging off.
Yeah. And you're singing as well, Matt. Fair play.
Thank you very much.
Had you to think much about it going into this EP? Because I know with the last EP and performing live as well, I'd imagine it was in the back of your mind, how am I going to approach this new EP?
Yeah.
Did you change much?
Well, I mean, I think there's a little bit of an evident sort of growth in my approach to it. But I didn't really think much about, say, how am I going to perform this live from like, I mean, Five Eyes is like non-stop until you get to the bridge.
Yes.
Vocal happening constantly. I mean, we nail it in the rehearsal studio, but it takes a lot out of me, and I think I'm just a sucker for punishment in that regard.
Yeah.
So you'll see me with a vein popping in my neck maybe towards the end of it, but yeah.
So that's the only one that kind of was tough, really.
No, they're all tough. Yeah, as I said, sucker for punishment. Like, I mean, they're fine, but they are just like unrelenting.
Yeah.
In terms of like I never think about the arrangement from the point of view like when I'm giving myself a break on the stage.
Okay.
Like when I'm giving myself a chance. I know our set tonight, the first 20 odd minutes of it won't give me a chance to take a breath and take a drink.
Yeah.
But that's just what, like, it has to, like, sonically it has to be perfect before it comes down to whether or not I I get to be comfortable up there.
Yes.
But I didn't even know how you like sing over that main Skyburner riff as well, because it's, you know, odd times. If I sing, I just can't do it. I can't talk over it when I'm playing stuff.
Yeah.
Can't do two things at once.
Yeah, no, the difficulty's definitely coming out of the bridge of Five Eyes and going into that big vocal. I go a bit blind when I'm on the stage. And that's tonight's actually, it's the first time we've ever played the full, or we will ever have played the full EP start to finish.
Yeah.
But Five Eyes we've only ever played live once, and about halfway through the PA broke, so it actually has not been played to its entirety on stage and being audible.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to getting that going and actually proving that we can.
But sure, I mean, as I said, kind of, you'll probably encounter some of the problems in rehearsals anyway. You can kind of predict what parts are going to suffer.
Yeah, and I think we had a lot of time to fix those things as well during the first EP, because there were things coming out of the first EP, Labyrinth particularly. I remember there was a batch of stage gigs where I like full on nausea on the stage, like from the constant going with the vocals, and I had to work out as part of it. And you'll see it tonight where water bottle is open on there. There is an 8-second window where I can lean over and grab a drink of water, and I need to do it because otherwise you might see me faint.
Steve, you're laughing a bit too hard there.
It's I remember when that was. That's when we started playing with the boats, and we had like the longer set.
Yeah.
And it was 3 gigs in a row. It's like, I nearly got sick again.
Yeah. I had to I started going running and like trying to improve my physical fitness, because I thought that like that was probably the core reason for physically breaking down on stage. But no problems since then. So I'm gonna keep.
Like, is there any other kind of frontmen you kind of look at and kind of go off? I suppose, look, I mean, Troy Sanders is obviously one there straight away. He's vocal delivery, and he's also a bass player as well. You know.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I'd be watching. Like, I remember when we started playing, it wasn't even something that occurred to me.
Yes, I know
we had seen Zor playing live, and literally watching the confidence and the preparation and the feeling that sort of Colin was emitting on the stage. And like, I full on leaned over to this guy and Steve on my right, and I was saying like, I'm jotting this shit down, I'm stealing these moves. Like, I started immediately putting some of that together, like, in order to keep the feel going on stage. And like and then I'd be watching videos of, say, like Troy Sanders or Brent, you know, like the moves, the way they handle themselves on the stage, and then watching back videos of our own gigs and seeing where things can change, you know, cause it's, you know,
it is relevant, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a 3-dimensional performance. Like, we got to nail the music, obviously. Yeah, but you also got to be entertained at the front. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're conscious of that. Yeah.
Did you make any purchases, equipment-wise, since I've last seen you?
Well, I have a new amp on the way. You actually have a full new setup.
I did. I bought a cabinet. I bought the amp, was it earlier May this year?
Right.
It's the small little Laney Ironheart, so I don't break my back carrying the big one.
Yeah.
And I finally got a cab for it, but I didn't bring that with me. Steiner boys, shout out to them again, are bringing their lovely big cabs. They're 4x12s.
Nice.
And the cab will not fit in the Punto with all the rest of us. So.
All right, yeah,
class. About squeeze all
we need. That's the next thing that needs to upgrade rather than gear, I think, at this stage.
Yeah.
And lyrically wise, what themes did you explore in each song? Like the boats?
So like I keep saying, I should prepare an answer for this question. Basically, so like the boats, he came up with a title for that track, and it was just music at the time. So I started, like, in my head working on things, and a lot of it's very intuitive, where I'm just listening and like what words are coming, so that they'd, I guess, be from the heart. But like that definitely deals with like my struggles. Definitely since we started the band, like this idea of like trying to manage time, because I've got a full-time job, and I've got a life, and I've like socially, and I've got this band, and like trying to maintain the effort in all of those things.
And a dog with an anxiety disorder.
Yeah, I got a very anxious dog. I got to get back to her. But trying to deal with all these things, like without drowning. Yeah, which is where sort of the nautical theme came from there. Yeah. At the same time, for the rest of the EP, I had just gotten into the novels Dune by
Frank Herbert.
Frank Herbert, yeah, cool, absolute masterpiece. But I was reading through those, and this idea of like the Great Desert as a flowing and constantly changing sea, where the dunes are ebbing and flowing, and I started thinking about that. So you'll see it in Five Eyes. I guess it's more arid feeling rather than wet, which the Boats definitely has.
There was a famine
reference
as
in
well,
there. Well, I mean, our history as a country and stuff, it's in us. Like it's in our souls. So yeah, that creeps its way out.
Yeah, it was a nice touch, actually. Yeah. It's a nice throwback to our history.
Yeah, I thought like I know I'm woefully ignorant of some of our history and have been for years, and I've definitely spent a lot of time this year trying to find where our core as a people is as well.
Right.
And definitely like artists like Colin with the Bulga and or the Bulga, definitely like would have led me down a path of that. So,
he's a great example. I'm glad you brought him up now. So the artwork, I see Colin a lot, and he was excited about taking on the project first of all. And did you have much of an idea into the concept of it, or did you just say, look, do your magic?
Yeah, we just did that, same as last time. We just do your magic. That's it. We just gave him the tracks once we left studio. We actually gave him the demo tracks we did in pre-production beforehand. They're rough, there's some mistakes there, but this is them. Sent him the lyrics, and then after the studio we sent him that and just said, do your thing, we trust you, be good. He
really, I thought he paid a lot of attention to the lyrics in producing this, and I like we had identified Colin well before we knew him as sort of having an artistic direction that's I think like brings our music to mind to us. We very much enjoyed then, like it was a no-brainer, I think, going back for him for this EP. But like he knocked it out of the park. It's unbelievable. I'm really, really happy with that artwork.
And the colours as well are fantastic as well.
The little hints to the lyrics that are in there, and the theme of like the journey as a band. And he really, like when he was emailing us back, I think he took my words to heart in bringing it in. I thought he treated it with great respect and everything. Really happy with that.
Or as you mentioned in the other podcast, little owl in the corner.
Or
like at the bottom of the tree, there's 3 mushrooms.
Yeah, the 3 mushrooms.
Us,
Is that it? Really? I spotted the mushrooms, but
that's what I see.
That's cool. And Kelvin then as well, you got on board as well.
Yeah, it did. So while we sent that to Colin to do the EP artwork, we said we'll want to get a t-shirt going as well. Talked to Mr. Serpent Tusk, Kelvin, and said he's doing some great stuff. Like loved all his stuff as well as the posters for Mastodon, the As I Lay Dying t-shirts.
Yeah, fair play to him on getting those gigs as well. Unbelievable,
amazing. So we just
well deserved as well. So
well, I wasn't insinuating I wasn't.
I think you were.
He's a sham. No, he's brilliant. Just messaged him. He got it done, and it was brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Definitely do him again. We were thinking of getting a t-shirt done for each of the songs on the EP, like, and have a team that way. But then our girlfriends talked us out of that pretty quickly.
But no, I just love it, and the fact as well, like, kind of these names keep popping up in the podcast. Colin and Kelvin, it's fantastic that you use both. You use the same studio as well in Blanchardstown again, same producer,
Michael Richards again.
You're happy with what you have, and going into a different setup, did you explore it, or were you just happy to kind of stay with what you know?
We actually, we did. We were actually in with Mick again this Tuesday recording a single that I got announced for doing a split with. We can talk about that later. But we were actually looking around for that, just mostly because Matt maybe wanted to try some producing himself. So we don't have a place to record the drums, so we'd go somewhere to do that. So we're just looking around. And like JSR up in Belfast, like he's got a great sound. Like we mentioned Horrenda, and he did Words to Burn, and that Peasant King as well. Sound is amazing, but it's just a bit too far for us to go and end up costing probably too much for what the single could be. So maybe in future we'll see. But then we've got a good relationship with Mick. He's brilliant. Matt
love
knows
the atmosphere
him
in the studio with him as well. He just gets it done so quick. He's just a master at it. Like
especially for drums as well. Like, I mean, drummers are finicky fuck.
Oh yeah. He was a good joke. He's like, I think all drummers have ADD.
But he's very good at it. Like there isn't a second wasted in the studio with Mick. Like there's no sitting around chatting over a cup of tea or after. It's literally just when you're in there, it's like one purpose, one mind. We're all working towards it. You have to keep on track throughout. So like definitely like working with Mick for because he gets it sounding professional, big. Like the sound on the latest EP, I think it even blows the previous EP out of the water. I don't know whether that's us getting better as players on top of.
I think it's a mixture of both.
But but really happy with it.
And you will actually know this is Grey Stag. That's the identity, and especially your vocals as well. The minute you hear, that's mad. So
thank you.
So I'm glad you brought up the stuff about the split release. It's with Spirit Ruiner, Weed Wizard, and Indigo Hammer.
Yeah.
So
when did that come about? It's Jordy from Spirit Ruiner. He messaged us. I think it was when we were going to go into the studio, like literally like a day or two before, saying, "Oh, we like the sound of you." They messaged us before ages ago, as well for a gig, and just nothing ever happened. And just said we were looking to do a split. Would you like to do it? And we said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it. Why not? We won't say no to most things." And, it'd be great to have it spread around, especially with Weed Wizard, our band from Germany. So it'd be great. They'll get their audience spread here. We'll get over there. Yes. Same with up and we hadn't played Belfast at the time. We have since. We've accepted it and have a great reception up there, and I think we'll be going back soon.
And super scene up there as well.
It is great,
Who are Indigo Hammer?
They recently changed their name from something else. I don't know if there's a point in saying it. I think it was Jim Smack or something.
Right, yeah.
I know the guitarist is the same guitarist who's in Zombified.
Anyway. Oh, right, Zombified. Okay, fair enough.
But I wouldn't have caught them before. But yeah.
So your song then is
Cyclopean.
Cyclopean. Okay. Go on.
It's one of our earliest, one of the first songs we ever wrote.
It's been rearranged a little bit more recently, but we were knocking around with the ideas of that track, the core of it, a couple of years ago, and I think this was sort of the perfect reason to brush the dust off and have another sort of think about it, bring it up to the sound that we have now, and see where it goes. I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. We obviously have heard it.
Be scared if we didn't.
But you'll all get to hear it in next year when it's released. I know the date is subject to change.
So that's what you were doing there. There was a post put up on the 3rd of December. So was that part of that then?
That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. 3rd.
So that was earlier in the week. Jesus, I was so tired because we were all in work the day of, and then going to the studio for the 4 hours.
Jesus, drive. It's in Blanchardstown. It's usually fine when we do it on the weekend, but Jesus Christ, driving through rush hour traffic.
No thanks.
I remember sitting there with hardly any sleep, or weird sleep pattern, just going like, back in the studio again. What's going on?
I was up actually for Sacred Reich. And Psychosis as well.
So
I was desperate to see Psychosis again after seeing them in The Siege. Like, they were fantastic at The Siege.
I heard actually I worked with Tom
at The Siege, actually, lads, as fans. Where were you?
I think I was working.
I know. I was at a stag that weekend.
Grey Stag.
That was an awful stag.
I wasn't able to make it down, unfortunately. No, friends of mine just got engaged and just signed a deal on a new house.
Okay, so we'll accept that. But anyway, so Psychosis and The Siege were fantastic.
Tom was saying, I work with Tom, the drummer, he was saying that it was probably one of the best receptions they ever got at The Siege there. Said it was phenomenal. And then you want to see the fucking crowd for him at Sacred Reich. It was unbelievable. It was jammed. So they gave Savage performance, and of course afterwards then I was looking for a t-shirt. Shout out, it's one of my favourite t-shirts this year now at the moment. Could change now, lads, could change, but so I bought a t-shirt anyway, and they gave me then the single. They have a new single on CD, you see. So they were on to me then during the week. Did I play the single, and I said, no, not really, it's up on top of the table, because I was just in work and stuff like that. So I said, look, I'm going to play it tonight on the way up to interview Grey Stag, So fuck me. Women, that's all I'll say. Do you think I could find that CD? I put it on the table, and it was there while I was fucking having my breakfast, had my tea, had my dinner over 2 days. I was looking at the CD going, I will definitely get it from the fucking table to the car. And tonight then, just heading up to eat, that fucking CD is gone.
I bet she never touched it.
Fucking hell. So so anyway, I want to shout out anyway to Psychosis anyway, lads. Respect, And
our class lads, we played with them back, it was July, wasn't it? For that
June or July, one of them was the
whacking metal battle thing. They're fucking amazing.
They're standing live, just so tight.
It was actually they headlined. It was our like third gig. It was the semi-finals of the Metal to the Masses.
Yeah.
So our first year was our third gig, and they were like the headlining band. And seeing them, that was like one of the first time. Might have even been the Heat. But I remember seeing it. It's like, Jesus Christ! Okay, this is a professional level band. Like,
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Like,
but
really
sure, I know you like your trash anyway, Steve. So.
Oh, yeah, I used to. I'm more sludgy now, but I know you're doing that transition too.
Yeah, of course, man. I'm going through that transition.
It's a tough genre as well to get tight. It's
are we genre neutral now? Are we?
Genre fluid.
Genre fluid.
That's what my Spotify thing just told me the other day. I was genre fluid.
Really? Actually, you're doing really well on Spotify with what is it, Skyburner past 1,000 streams.
Yeah,
that's fucking incredible.
Couldn't believe that.
Extremely grateful for that one.
Yeah, a lot of people listen to that, and the main thing with that is that we got on this playlist and it just got spread around. Like as well, last week we had our first 2 international buys of the Guide EP. So someone from the UK bought it, and then someone from California bought it. So
wow, nice
sent
one.
them off. So it's starting to spread. It's not massive numbers, but we're getting there. We're just thanks again for everyone that's been listening to it. And just for everyone else, just keep trucking along. Yeah. Go for your playlist, Yeah.
You did actually bring physical copies of the CD with you tonight.
Yes, we
nice.
Have it,
That's sweet.
They look deadly as well.
They do look really good.
Well, I'm buying one off you anyway. So I think your next gig then is Elder Druid, is it? Is that right? In January?
We may have one in between that, but it hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, Elder Druid.
Yes.
That's in Belfast, or no, it's not. It's in Dublin.
That's in Fibbers,
downstairs.
Cool. They're lovely lads, actually, as well.
We've seen them. We went to see them with Zora and Iron Altar when they came down and played Shinee. We've seen them before. I definitely know. It was when they were playing with Tombs and Carosa.
Yes,
that's right. Yeah. Oh, great band, yeah. And they put on a great show. And you've seen, I think you talked about that video that they put up, Golgotha.
Oh, yeah, class,
that's nice,
man.
Proper like doom.
Yes, it is, man. That riff, Jesus Christ. So who else is on that night? I think is Carosa from Cork.
Carosa there, yeah. Mm-hmm. Venus Sleeps.
My Dudes and Venus Sleeps and Slung from a Tree as well. That's a nice lineup, but gee.
It's interesting. Will be a heavy one.
Yeah. It will be, yeah. That's 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes set each, would you? I'd
say about that. What did you get, like 1.5 Carosa songs in there?
But was there any kind of, you can have a good crack now with Chalice Burner and Sky Burner, it's a fucking interviewer's nightmare. It's just going to make sure you get fucking Sky Burner right tonight, or the boys.
Because we said it to them years, they totally robbed it from us.
Yeah. Shots fired now.
Shots fired now.
Healthy competition.
Got to get a good healthy band beef going.
Keeps the motivation up,
So Gat, getting back to your drumming, what do you think of kind of the competition out there at the moment?
Oh Jesus, it's well, I mean, if you just think about it, as Evan, Jack, just from down here alone, there's that, and
Sean from Baylor, man, there's some serious
drummers out there. And then obviously Tom from Zora. Who else? There's just here, Claire from Dead Label as well. Deadly. There's loads that are just serious drummers, and it's just great to watch as well, because it kind of fires you up a little bit as well.
Definitely,
kind of keep at it, who else is there? So many, but here all day.
I don't think you didn't mention Ollie, did you? From
Ollie as well. Ollie as well from Crows is a great drummer.
I think you said Jack.
Oh yeah.
Jack
doesn't play drums.
Well, I mean, he could be fantastic.
He could be.
This is untested.
Oh no, Jack from God Alone.
What?
Yeah, from God Alone.
Oh, there you go. No. And the only other thing is Iron Mountain Festival. That's confirmed as well. Whether that goes ahead or not is one for debate, hopefully it does. The lineup is serious,
Yeah, it is.
So are you headlining that? Are you down for headliners or one of the night?
It's the headliner on the second stage on Sunday night, I think it was. Yeah. I'm looking forward. Like the venue looks class. Like I know it's the same place where the Gothic Species Festival is every year. I think it's been going for the last 5 years. This place in Leitrim, but it's supposed to be good. Nice, relaxed, chill vibe. Right. It's more kind of like a gathering rather than an actual festival, Yeah,
it's great actually. There's so many festivals around Ireland. What did you think of Sunstroke? The announcement?
That looks mental.
Yeah. I think that I wasn't alone in first seeing that poster popping up and being a bit incredulous. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh no, this is fake, lads." Like, especially because I think the Rage Against the Machine thing had been.
Well, yeah, that's right. Actually, it was, wasn't it?
So then I was like, I can't trust any posters.
Jesus Christ,
fake news.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's some serious bands on that, like.
Oh, there is, and it's not too bad. Like, was it 130 for camping for the weekend?
Yeah,
I think it's 30 bird though.
I'd be going just for Faith No More. Like, I mean, not
Faith
that
No More
I wouldn't be going for the others,
for me,
but like that'd be enough to get me out.
Yeah,
big Faith No More fans. Actually, I suppose a little tidbit: Faith No More inspired one part in The Boats.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Come on, Steve.
News to me.
The ending of The Boats. That's where you have the idea.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. All right. You're supposed to prep me on this so I can learn the term.
Learn the lies.
Well, I'm here mixing up names, so I mean, you'll be worse than me.
I don't know what age I was when I first started Midlife Crisis, but I always thought it was absolutely British. The way they layered the chorus and the verse like together as the outro. I just thought like, geez, these lads are geniuses.
So that's at the outro of The Boats where you do. That's going to sound shit on the mic, but you listen to it and then you'll hear that the two riffs are played over each other, and that's Faith No More.
Fucking sweet.
It's great to see some of the Irish bands on it as well.
What?
Actually, it's great to see some of the Irish bands on it as well. Like there's the Scratch, Senzor, Dead Label. Like along with that, besides like Gojira, Faith No More, and Deftones. Like it's.
Same. I'm kind of always kind of wary of festivals like this, you know, and especially locations as well, because like we all hit abroad for festivals, and there's a reason why we do, because you get value abroad. For Dublin now, you'd be like €7 for a fucking 3/4 of a pint, and the food you'd be fucking £8 or £9 for a burger, you know.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen.
That's why it's looking like reasonable enough, because it's where it is Punchestown, isn't it?
It is
where auction used to be.
Punchestown,
Yeah, like last auction I was at, I think was 2009, 2010.
Same as well. Yeah.
What was that for? Was that AC/DC? No, I was at
AC/DC.
There was an Oxygen. The last time I camped at Punchestown, anyway.
Oh,
yeah. I can't remember. It was. Was girlfriend was going to see Kings Leon. I seen Nick Cave there, and that was class. Yeah. The year before was Rage Against the Machine, and they were amazing. But then it was expensive anyway, so it couldn't keep going back every year, and then it kind of just fizzled out into non-rock and stuff
it turned into chaos. I worked at one of the last one, I think it was. I was doing the loadout, and I was like watching just like animals in the jungle, like
really,
it's mental. Like it was raining and everyone's going, and it's just.
Of course, that's another aspect as well. If it fucking rains,
Irish festival weather.
Yeah. So
Ireland, sunstroke, a lot of rain. It wouldn't surprise me really. To be honest,
I was at two of them. I was at Daily Mount, I think twice. Shit memory because I was just wasted, obviously. I definitely was at two of them because I've one of the tickets at home for it, you know.
Oh, cool.
But that was fierce, handy Daily Mount, because it was in the city centre. You could walk to it, stagger back and forth. But so that's it. You've nothing really more planned at the moment, gig wise. You're not going to tell me about the one that could possibly be coming up. That's fair enough.
That up.
Secrets.
I think we're taking a bit of a well-deserved, if I say so myself, break for the Christmas. Put our heads down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, after this, December is just relax for a bit. You know,
eat turkey and drink cans.
Eat turkey. Well, we're planning to do is just meet up, plan for the next year. But I suppose what we did this year is we put down some goals. What we're going to do. We've achieved all those goals. What was it this year? Play Siege, new EP,
play Belfast.
Play Belfast.
Yeah,
nice.
There were some more, but like
they're our main three goals.
So
next year we'll plan for just hit three things and then aim for them.
Have you got, like I was talking about this on the last podcast, like when bands release something, have you got something to follow through, we'll say, after the release? So, you know, Andy from Crawlin was saying it as well, like he planned everything, you know, and fucking hell, when Andy's saying it, like, this guy's meticulous, like, but yet on the other side of it, then when the album dropped, there was a lull there. Have you got something in line for that?
Well, we have a few. We got to get out to a few more reviewers, stuff like that, to take maybe physical copies, since we got the CD last week. But that was another reason, I suppose, for doing this split single as well.
There you
like
go.
That'll be out again
exactly,
in a month, hopefully a month's time. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be out in January sometime. Okay. That will keep it going. We were planning to do a more professional music video, but we were actually like planning to get like in some actors and stuff. Right. We had a location picked, but all kind of fell apart just because no one could sync up.
Okay, so that could still happen.
We might, in the meantime, do our own video again. We'll see.
I think people would love if you just did a fucking, you know, you're renowned for your social media, you know, the fun side of it. So if you did something like that. Just put on the old, what are the red hats?
Oh, the fezes, yeah.
The fezes, yeah. Away you go.
I got them because my parents went to Turkey like ages ago and I didn't go, and I said, just get me a fez. I'm like, why? Just get me a fez from the Maston Blood and Thunder video. I've always wanted that.
Oh, yeah, okay, so that was the idea behind it.
I've always been, their videos have always been a big inspiration because I love that little bit of comedy in there.
They do, yeah, they have a
nice
bit of
Red Fang.
Red Fang
amazing
or
videos.
That video for Wires is just
videos I've seen. Something like that.
So maybe something like that could
because last one was just in the practice room. We might do more out there stuff.
Yeah,
Matt's going to buy us a video camera and then
it's thrown right under the bus.
Do you realise how much they are? Jesus Christ! I'm after buying one myself, and that's for next year, you know.
I'm just going to find out where Andy from the Crawling lives and rob his.
He's great for advice, in fairness. Shout out to Andy there.
He's actually messaged him about what's the good camera, and he's like, oh, what do you want? It's like, just give me your camera.
How many people ask him that? Jesus Christ! I'm there going, fuck, because I felt bad enough pestering him over it, you know, and so other people are going to him as well, probably. Yeah, that's a classic. And kind of, any more tunes? Are you working on anything at the moment? Like, are you just, as I said, just that's it, get this out of the way and think about next year then, yeah? You probably rehearse a fair bit, like, as well. We
rehearse regularly. I mean, at least once a week, and then in the lead up to things like this, it happens more regularly. But the
creative flow juices.
Yeah. So I think, like as I was saying, I think we're kind of teetering towards the we have material, but we're consciously not putting it together just yet.
Okay.
Because we're trying to focus 100% on releasing this. I know it's taken a lot more time than even we anticipated. Releasing the EP and contacting people for reviews and like trying to work out like how to remind people or something in a friendly sort of way. Send a second email being like, oh, here. Because after we hit the 1,000 streams on Skyburner, we reached out again to a couple of them just to be like, just so you know that like there might be some benefit to checking this out. But like the amount of work that goes into that and having to think about it, I think we decided that we're focusing on our set being as tight as we can be so that we can play a mind-blowing show. And then I think maybe before the end of the year we might have a real relaxed sort of sit down and start putting some of this material together.
That's fair enough. So what, I just want to throw this out to you there, what if, say, Bloodstock approached you? Are you ready for something like that?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I have to buy a hard case for the guitar, but yes.
Well, that's it, Sean. And we were even talking about this during the week, but like I'm buying some new gear for replace my amp head that's in the post at the moment, and like everything that we're buying, I was saying, was like we need to be future-proofing this. We need to have in mind like what we're going to be doing next year. Hopefully, there's going to be some international shows. Because of that, we need to have flight cases. We need to have that stuff ready. So now, so like when buying an amp, I had to buy an amp with in mind having it in a
nice
case.
Thought. It's a nice thought. Well, like, you know, you're
doing it, we may as well.
You're moving up levels, lads. You know, so you have to kind of.
I know you were asking about gear earlier. You got to think, like, because when you go to mix like a studio, you know, you're playing for $4,000 PRS through a $3,000 Mesa Boogie with a $2,000 cab. You know, you wouldn't bring that on the road with you. You know, it's more important. You know, what's my guitar is 470. It's the SE PRS. Get a good case for it, you know, that'll do. It's better. You can get away with more stuff live, and once it sounds good and you're happy with it, you know, it's better to protect that. Probably get a backup guitar rather than getting a more expensive one before, you know.
Well, that's
just got to think about that.
You could blow like $3,000 on an all valve beautiful head, and like not leave any room in the budget for something to carry it safely in. Break on the first gig.
Like it's not a cheap game.
It's full of like thin little bits of glass. Like that's all dead.
So.
But that's so like we are.
So the thought process is there.
So like, because we want to be able to. I know it's not likely, but like say Simon Hall from Bloodstock turns around and goes, "I must have Grey Stag here tomorrow night." We want to be in a position to be there. Like tomorrow night.
And to be fair, like all the lads that went there this year definitely flew the flag for us, man. They all fucking nailed it, you know. So I'm sure there will be a spotlight on you next year. I'd be surprised if there isn't, you know. So
fingers crossed and touch wood.
And
also a big shout out to Asect and Black Shock as well. Fair play to them.
Great guys.
Exactly. So lads, congratulations again. I must say I loved it. Thought it was great. I definitely see a huge improvement in everything. And and anybody that I talked to about it as well, all thought the same as well, you know. So continued success to Grey Stag, and thanks a million for showing up and appearing on the show.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
And thanks for all the support as well over the year.
Cheers.
No problem. Okay, that's it, lads.